don't know if I should make this entire game into one video, because I want to do that, but it would make it a little bit too long. Huh? What was that? Jeans, did you do it? Goddamn Jeans. Cell phone. iPhone. A wedding ring. The truest beginning of love starts at the end of all that came before, not to be forgotten, but to be magnified into something entirely new. There's only one way to show such a feeling of devotion, through a covenant of forever and always. Barely into adulthood, a perfect proposition must be made. Nearly 2 decades have passed since your first meeting. The magnitude of your nearing decisions weighs heavy. Never once has something so small carried such gravity. You go for a walk with Rennie down the trail you both journeyed through in your youth. It's been many years at this point since the adventure had been undertaken. Life's many instances have kept the beloved from continuing further to the peak of the mountain. It feels like the first time you both had walked through the endless trees engulfing the sky. But this venture is more important than any other before it, except for the original outset. As the mountain comes into crystal view, you put your hand in your pocket and reach for a box. Rennie has not yet noticed this. Now say nothing. You are too nervous to ask Rennie outright to marry you. So you both continue your trip with the boxed ring in hand. Rennie walks ahead and reaches out to a limb to help her up to another level. She asks you for your hand for support. You place your hand with the ring in her hand. She loses her grip on the branch and falls over onto you. You are both bewildered, but importantly, unharmed. You both begin to look frantically in the leaves to find the ring that has fallen in the excitement until you both place your hands on the intended treasure. From the ring to each other's eyes, your new focus is a powerful embrace, unlike the world has seen before. She says yes on the condition that you don't wait too long for surprises next time. Sure, I remember that. You reminisce on the years long since past while lovingly holding one another. While walking further on the trail, Rennie asks where to have the wedding. You say, why not at the top, while pointing to the everlasting peak. Such love as pure as this is often only dreamed about through words, craft or song. Not ever has something so true existed, but the world is a balanced place. A wonderfully dreadful, beautifully terrifying place. So, this love is forever after. Would not go on the way it ought to have. The peak was never reached, only aspired until now. Oh, come on. I have a feeling that Rennie died. I have a feeling. And that we are, thinking about what could have been, or rather we're thinking about, I don't know. But I do think that Rennie has died. This is the night time, with the stars above our heads, and the grass below our feet, and plants.
The finality of existence is among the highest truths reaching back to the conception of creation. Nothing lasts forever, regardless of the implications granted by the numerous promises made in one's lifetime. Love brings loneliness. Joy carries pain. Life leads to death. Everything ends. To dream of everlasting is futile. What is left behind will eventually be forgotten. There is no avoiding these words. The clock's hands continue to strike each hour without failure, its face unnerved, tirelessly turning the circumference of infinity. Every stroke signals the edge of one universe and the genesis of another. Will the gears that turn over time ever cease? What will happen then to this world? Will it stop, or shall it find continuation without the need of its keeper?
Hello, grass. Hello, trees. It is quite lovely tonight, ain't it?
At this peak, above all created by man and its superior, feelings of forfeiture force deeper than any wounded heart can bear. It is here where the troubled soul will at last find peace from the bombardment of huddled empathy. There is nothing that can be said to ease the pain of brokenness. Two rings joined together to become eternity. And still, this is not enough. Total transcendence requires more than a promise, metal, and a seal. More than love, one must relinquish themselves completely and give only to the other. But any lack of strength will cause the union to shatter, regardless of sickness or health.
We meet again, Spikes. Hello.
Maybe I was wrong to believe that there was nothing else waiting on the other side of the veil. Perhaps my sight became riddled with self-doubt and the fear of beginning again. I could never forget. To forget her would be a crime with no just punishment, not even after death. Surely there is nothing more foul to have forsaken an ideal so pure. The hallowed words of matrimony do mention the inevitability of separation. But regardless of my words of the past, my speaking during this journey, I never gave up hope. The hope to see her again someday. As I traveled the vacant Gaia, I searched to hear her voice, seeking the answer to why. Why did we not deserve the jubilations we dreamed during our youth?
What was that? Grass. Do something, grass. floating leaf. Oh my god. Where do I go now? It's a dead end, ain't it? Or not. What is going on? What's up with the heartbeats and stuff? I like the setting of this level. It's really cool. The music and the atmosphere really blend in together really well and do their thing, you know. Snow leaves. I hear something. Footsteps, to be exact. Those aren't my footsteps. Oh! The Northern Lights. It's beautiful. Oh, light!
The tiny orbs of light from the depths of the mountain join me once more, flickering a path towards the summit, to the Alpha and the Omega of all things. For what exists now fell from the sky as rain, and there I shall return by the flickering flame of the night's messengers. I am no longer alone. I have reached the end of our journey here
We've
together.
reached the peak. Thank you, my friends. I will never forget you.
But wait. What is this at the top of the mountain? This familiar form that has been forever etched into my mind. The roaring winds and the rising torches make evident it is she, the one whom I have been seeking. The only reason I have left to continue onward. Has she been waiting here for me?
I am coming! Don't disappear!
No, that is not the case. She has always been with me. There were 2 steps for every one taken on this journey.
Yes! I heard footsteps!
I have finally found you.
You see? Wow, it's cool. Because there were footsteps and those were her footsteps. Holy shit. This level is my favorite so far. Rennie. At the top of the mountain, Rennie stretches out her hand towards me, and my soul is brimming with our childhood innocence. I am in awe, and yet again, it's just like our first meeting, all those many years ago. The feeling is not quite as it once was. Many years have passed, and our hearts are not as soft as they once were. But there is something to be said about the completeness we now share. Through every smile and every tear. We are still looking at one another in the same way, with all the wonder, all the love, and all of the promise that is created by young love. We've had, oh, so many years with one another, and it was impetuous of me to have taken them all for granted. Today, we've lived with enough love to withstand the vastness of eternity. There is no longer a reason for despair. She's reminded me now of the promise that we made so long ago. You told me you would take me to the top of this mountain, didn't you, Kai? I react confidently. I mean, holy shit. Remember the time when you were children, and you promised to take Rennie to the top of the mountain and describe it to Rennie in detail? Tragedy kept you from fulfilling this promise. Life's decisions are what led you to being the first and only time you will both make this journey to the summit. While it is a sweet moment to have finally fulfilled that vow made all those years before, this should not have been the day, at the parting of souls. I've been looking for you for so long, Rennie. Why did you go? We were going to get married. What happened? Rennie weeps. Kai, I'm not the only one who's been gone. Please take my hand so you will remember. The hospital.
And here we are, at the beginning of all things, and at the end of this history's tomorrows. Love always was, and always will be the guiding light that brings you home, no matter the distance, whether it be across the world, throughout time, or transcending existence. Love will find a way. You will never be alone, my dearest Renee.
Oh my God.
I
What?
wish I could leave you with more solace than this.
It's me.
But know that what we have
what?
will never truly end. No matter how dark the world may seem, no matter the paths your life takes you, even if you find another, know that this will be all right. I want you to be happy forever. You have given me more than I could ever ask for, my darling. A life filled with joyous perfection. Know this for now and for always.
Wait, so I died as
Always
well?
love you.
Holy shit. I'm back here again. Is this the start? What happened?
These woods are an example of what can be accomplished without man's interference. This forest, away from any town or communal society, is as untouched by man as any mass of green can be. Within these trees, among these streams, life is, and that is good enough.
That was it! It was really cool! It was very short, but it was really good. I really liked it though. I wasn't sure when I bought it if it would be good, because my experience with indie games recently has been not so good. But damn, it was good. Still don't fully understand what was going on in the story. But I guess I guess we both died. Rennie died, and the guy we were playing as died as well. Then we were about to get married, but then we couldn't. and we die before it, and then we're like, what happened? And then we kind of walk around, look for answers, and all this happens. It's pretty cool.